Hey everyone, welcome back to bageltcg. Day 2 of the Calling Las Vegas starts in about an hour and a half, and even though I wish I could be there, I'm going to be doing a wrap up of what happened day 1 so you can prep yourself for watching the last 4 rounds and then top cut for day 2. So here is the unofficial meta breakdown of day 1 from Channel Fireball. I was surprised to see Chain so low, honestly. I thought it'd be like maybe about 40%. But it looks like a pretty diverse field overall. Everything looks good. Surprised to see Prism above Dash, even though that's pretty close. But this is honestly about what we were expecting. Although I think most people would say Chain. They expect it to be a little higher percent wise. But overall, it looks like a pretty healthy meta with Chain, Katsu, Bravo taking the top 3 spots as we expected. I will have links to all of these Twitter posts from Channel Fireball in the comments. So in the description, I should say. So be sure to check there if you want to see any of this in more breakdown. I'm gonna go over the rounds real quick. Round 1, we had Bravo versus Chain. Chain ended up taking this. A lot of, as you can guess, feature matches had Chain in the top tables. Um, Chain took this game. It was a bit rough for Bravo in this one. Round 2, I'm from Florida. The Florida scene is great, and we had Jimmy Lee, who won the Orlando Road Nationals at Cloak and Blaster, winning round 2 on his Bolton build, which is uses Raiden. It's called Charge Bolton, some people call it, or Raiden Bolton. It's an aggressive Bolton deck that tries to race Chain, which he was successfully able to do here. Round 3, we had a chain mirror, but important it did have Brendan Patrick, who is from Arsenal Pass, one of the best chain players in the U.S. probably, and he was able to win this round, I believe, in the chain mirror. Round 4, we had a Katsu deck. I believe this is the aggro Katsu, yes, who played up against the chain, and I believe the Katsu took this one here. We also had like a follow-up match in round 4 that we had time for. It was on an Axe Dorinthia, which is kind of a control variant of Dorinthia. Um, we didn't actually see a Dawnblade Dorinthia on the stream, but this is the less popular version of Dorinthia, interesting, and that we saw. Round 5, we saw Katsu versus Viserai. This was a pretty close match overall, but Katsu was able to take it. Instead of aggro Katsu, this one is a control Katsu list. I was surprised to see a control Katsu 4-0 in this point. It has a really, really bad chain matchup, so he would have had to either get lucky with them doing bad banishes or just not hitting a lot of chains, which to be fair, 20% of the field is a small enough percent where he could have not hit any chains at this point. So not for sure. It was a really fun match to watch. It was one of the closer ones, and I'd recommend going back and watching this one if you want to see some non-chain gameplay with Katsu versus Viserai. The next round was really sad. We had Viserai back this time against Chain, but he had just an absolutely awful Sonata whiff. He had a Sonata with X equals 10, so revealed 13 cards, I believe, and he hit 3 non-attack actions, which is just absolutely devastating. So he was already pretty behind. You could see he was at what 1 life to 33, but this was his OTK turn that he had a chance to be able to do that 33 damage if he hit good cards, and he just didn't do that at all. So that was a sad round 6 for our hero. Round 7, we were excited to see an undefeated Kano, right? But it didn't last for very long since he played against another one of Florida's own, AJ, here on Prism, who is by far Kano's worst matchup because Kano cannot pop the auras ever, and our boy AJ here is able to land a turn 1 Genesis into a turn 2 Tome of Divinity, and game was pretty much over from there, unfortunately. When you get a turn 1 Genesis as Prism that the opponent can never ever pop, you have so much card advantage that his Vestige of Soul was always on because he would Genesis every turn, and he is always +1 resource on Vestige on any of his pitches. It was pretty disgusting for Kano to. It was unfortunate that we saw Kano and he got against his by far hardest matchup, but happy AJ won from Florida represent, and still a fun match to watch. And then we had a little extra time because that last match was pretty fast. We saw a Dash versus Prism matchup. This was our first time seeing Dash at the top table, which was surprising to say. the least. But Dash was able to take it out with the pistol shot when the game was 1-1. So if you want to see another really close game, this was the last game of the night, and I would definitely recommend going to watch this. These were both 6-0, so Alberto Miracle ended up 7-0 here at the end of the night. So I'm going to show you those top players real quick. We had 6 7-0s, which when you think about it, I believe we had 750 people playing. So from the 750 we started with, we ended up with 6 people who went undefeated. I believe the pre-release kind of event for Tales of Aria had about 900 the day before, and the actual main event had about 750 today, or I should say yesterday, which is an amazing turnout. I mean, we're still in COVID. There's still a lot going on. Some people aren't comfortable going. It looked like they did distancing well. Everyone wore masks for the most part, but that's still a great turnout. We had 2 chain and 2 prism, 1 bravo, 1 dash. So main things we're not seeing here is the main 2 decks that are missing, you could say, are Katsu and Bolton, who are both probably the 2 other powerful decks that aren't here. I'm personally surprised to see Prism so high. I thought she just didn't have a good place in the meta right now, but obviously a lot of other top players disagreed with me and were able to pull her to a great finish. Bravo is expected, Dash is expected. Probably more chain was expected. So 2 chain, I mean it is only 6-7-0 finishers, but I don't think anyone would have been surprised with 6 chain. So it's still a little bit of nice diversity here. We are going to have 64 players today for day 2, so these are just the 6 that went 7-0, and I believe get like a round 1 bye. So these are just pictures of them. Congrats to everyone that did this. Prism, Dash, another Prism, the 2 on chain, and the Bravo. Once again, I'll have links to all this if you want to congratulate them or just check their profiles. And then here is the breakdown for day 2. The breakdown for day 2 here. And this is kind of more expected, right? So chain, obviously, the best deck in the meta, had an insane conversion rate. We can probably see here, he was 22% of the meta on day 1. He is 45% of the meta on day 2, which is unfortunately expected. Throughout all of the Road to Nationals, he's had just a phenomenal conversion rate. He's almost always putting more into top 8s at Road to Nationals than have entered the event. In terms of conversion rate, and not more number wise, but percentage wise, I should say. And once again, showing that he is putting basically double his percentage into the top 64 for day 2. To see the rest, Katsu, pretty awful conversion rate here, down to 9% from his 14. So Katsu obviously not well positioned in the meta, it looks like, and I don't think he will be well positioned in the Tales of Aria meta either, which is unfortunate. He's my favorite hero, but I just don't think he has a great chain matchup. Even his aggro variant, which has a better chain matchup than the control variant, still isn't just able to pull it out. Bravo went up a little in terms of conversion rate from 12 to 14% on day 2. I believe Prism maintained the same percentage, so it's not bad. Dorinthia went up 1%, right? So I mean, most of this is pretty standard. Bolton 6%, so Bolton went down 3%, so a little bit of a bad conversion rate. Dash went down a lot, right? Dash is at 9% here and 3%. So looks like Dash, Bolton, Dorinthia, and Katsu, these 4 had kind of rough conversion rates. These 4 didn't do as well as expected. Chain did much better than expected, maybe even. I mean, people expected Chain, but from going from 22% conversion to 45 just proves how powerful he is. And then Bravo and Prism did probably better than expected as well. And then the 1 Kano, which technically maintained conversion rate because he's 2% to 2%. I don't think anyone's expected a day 2 Kano, but he has a chance to take the whole event. We'll see. Maybe no one brought any null rune out of these people, and we will see. So yeah, this is starting. What is that? 9 a.m. Pacific time. So it'll be starting in about an hour and a half from now. Just putting this quick video up. Hopefully you'll see. Be able to see and be excited for day 2. I will do a day 2 wrap up as well once it's done. Probably put that out tomorrow, the day after the event. Talk about the top 8. Talk about who won. And yeah, it's been a great event so far. I know a lot of people that went. I know a lot of people from Florida that are doing well. which is exciting to see. We got Bronson, who's amazing, won the Jacksonville Road to Nationals that I taught Ford. He's in top 64. Nick Murphy, who's from Orlando. We have Jimmy Lee, who's from Orlando or Tampa. We've just got a whole slew of people that are doing great. Let me see if I'm missing anyone because I know quite a few people. Um, AJ, oh, who's the Prism player we saw. Yeah, everyone's just doing great. Oh, Rob Siegel, who is believe the highest XP player in the world, is also from Orlando and made it with Bravo. He's a really great Bravo player. So yeah, great job, Florida. I just want to say that because I'm from the Florida scene and I think we have the strongest scene in the U.S. And yeah, congrats to everyone that made the top 64 players for day two out of the 750 to start. And I'll see you tomorrow with the day two wrap up. Thanks.